And will you please welcome to the stage, now I'm going to have a quick chat with her before she reads, which she doesn't normally do, Errolyn Wallen. Errolyn, let's not beat about the bush. You're a composer. A composer of what people laughingly like to call classical music. And get closer to the microphone. And let's cut to the chase even further. We wrote an opera together. A beautiful opera. She wrote the music, I left that to her. I mean, you have a whole long history playing in bands and stuff, way before you became Dame Errolyn Wallen.
I'm not Dame, you keep saying I'm a Dame.
She might as well be, she will be.
I want to be Queen. I don't know.
There's room. Just take a photo and fake it. That's the biggest news in the world, apparently. But you've written a book. That's the key thing here. What's it called?
I've never written this book, but I actually was asked to write a book. So I thought, oh, yes, I was asked to write a book, and then I thought, I'd better not show it to Wes once I'd written it.
Yeah, she didn't show it to me.
I didn't show it. But it's called Becoming a Composer, and it's about my composing life and what it's like. So some of it is funny, some of it is, what's the word, more factual. And I wanted to read you something funny, but I actually wanted to read you the chapter that the publishers favoured. They like this chapter, and it's about the subway.
Well, what I want to tell you is that Errolyn's done the cabinet before and played her own music, but this is a very late engagement because she happened to be, her book's just coming out now. You happen to be in Canada, in Calgary, premiering your
violin concerto.
Your viola quintet.
Oh no, that's in England.
You see, she can write for any instrument and in any number of people. So I'm going to leave you with her. There's some stuff about me in the book. I'm sure none of that is what you're going to read now. It's a beautiful book. I've just read it. She finally allowed me to have a copy. Will you please welcome to tell you a little bit about her composing life as she leans right into that microphone to do her talking so everyone can hear her. Ladies and gentlemen, Dame Errolyn Wallen.
Can you hear me okay? So, the thing about this book is it's chapters that you can dip in and out of, and so it doesn't follow, it's not really completely memoir, but there are some things, observations, because I think composers see the world in a particular way. So I wanted to read you something I wrote quite a few years ago when I was in New York, and it's called Subway. What is the sound behind the sound? What's the pulse beneath the clanking of the train? What keys the sidewalk? These trees, those skyscrapers, this bridge? What notes do they hum? Motion is sound, and the world is always moving. By composing, I'm trying to understand the patterns of movement in sound. It can beat the hell out of your ears, but the New York subway is the perfect place to start for ear training exercises. First, there is the breathing of the entire underworld, its vast metal tributaries, its ghost towns of forgotten disused tracks and stations, its seething inhabitants, anxious to get to water or air, but caught in a trance induced by the sheer volume of sound pressing down on and around them. Hard surfaces reflect the noise, and harpy shrieks battle with gridiron hiccups for the attention of the underworld gods of war. Agonized cries of grimy metal and steel locked in a furious embrace for our transport. It sounds like a fight to the death, not a simple journey to Atlantic Avenue. This could be Hades, but it could also be hell. After time, after getting lost in the subway and walking miles along tiled corridors in search of the right portal or exit, after becoming accustomed to shuffling hopelessly in the dank air, after pushing against turnstiles and their fangs splayed, rusted teeth trying to bite and steal your belongings, trap and possess your entirety, after the whistling dark has left your train behind, but taken the rats and you're rerouted, pounding anxiety with you, it suddenly becomes clear. This is a civilization, a lost subterranean nation of the urban soul. This is a whole world singing and dancing beneath the skin of the earth, where the rules are ferric, feral ghosts of wind and power, calling to the mortals who walk above their heads. This is music. This is America. There are many Americas, so many of them hidden below ground and in ununited states. So much of the living history of this country is to be found in secret, unexpected places. And there, in a ready-made performance space by one of the exits of Broadway subway, were 6 tumbling boys of varying degrees of black, aged between 3 and 25 years old. They somersaulted, isolated limbs, ate fire, walked on the moon and the air, accompanied by a sound system and the ecstatic waves of applause erupting from the gathered throng after each jaw-dropping stunt. We paid our money and couldn't find a show above ground that equaled the one we just witnessed. So it was then, down in the bowels of 42nd Street a few years ago, that I decided to write a piece for solo percussion, based on the idea of the New York subway's sound, which is buried beneath the immediate din. I tried to discover other layers of rhythm without setting out merely to mimic the sound of trains and tunnels, though I am fascinated by tunnels themselves and by the sensation of being underground, moving through darkness. As a key or mental torch, I tried to carry the atmosphere, the peculiar burdened environment in my mind's senses as I worked back home in England. The transformation and transference of memory to sound, of reality to fantasy, of atmosphere to psychological states, was what interested me. And so I spent as much time as possible in the New York subway, not only a means of understanding the sound and atmosphere, but also as a way of understanding people and culture. The world we live in is made up of fleeting yet often powerful impressions. There is nothing we see or hear that doesn't get stored somewhere in us. This is what makes composing such a rich experience for me, uncovering forgotten memories, atmospheres, and creating new ones.